Hello, so today I am working on a 2014 Audi Q7. This Audi is having an issue with the keyless entry. It's not working. The ignition switch is acting funky, and it was at the dealer. They diagnosed it with a bad ignition switch, so I'm going to go ahead and replace that sucker. And I looked online, I could not find any videos on how to do this job. There are a couple of basic videos, but no in-depth videos of what in order to take apart, kind of the person doing it and showing how it's done. So I'd like to go ahead and do that. And so I'm gonna kind of go over the basics, and this should apply from 2006 to 2015, any Q7. We're gonna remove the lower panel here. We're gonna remove this panel up here. And we're also going to remove this trim piece right here because it is in front of the trim that is around the MMI and the cluster. And the vents are going to need to come out. I believe that the vents are held in by a couple of Torx screws on the top and some friction clips, and it's just gonna slide right out. And so the ignition switch, it has 3 screws. A bracket basically holds the ignition switch in place, and it has 3 screws. So we're going to need to get it from the top and from the side. And so let's go ahead and start. I'll start with pulling the lower panel off. And that is likely to be a T20. Get those guys. Just come out. There's little friction clips to hold it into place. And then this OBD port has a little tab right here. You just push it and pull it out. And then we've got the light, and it also has a little tiny tab on the edge of it right there. Push it, slide it out. That comes out. We're just gonna keep things tidy. We're gonna go ahead and we can just keep it right here. There we go. Keep that there. Now that's out, we'll be able to pull these out. And I'm gonna be careful. I don't want to break any of the clips, so I'm gonna grab my trim tools. It's always good to work with the proper tools. You don't want to go marring the plastics up. And I'll use, let's see, which one of these do I want to use? I'll go with this one. There you go, pops right out. You see, very simple. Just put that there. And now, let's trim right here. I believe it's also just clips. Yep. We're just gonna put our trim tool underneath. I'm gonna pry forward. Once that's out, we're gonna go ahead and leave that in place. And so this trim may have some screws in it. It appears to, okay, so it appears that this trim is held in with a Torx screw right there and right there. So we do have 2 Torx screws. I'm gonna grab a ratchet. Let's keep things tidy and out of the way so I'm not tripping over everything. Maybe a little extension to help. You'll have to excuse if I have a little bit of sniffles. I'm just getting over the flu. All right, that's one. And I'm just gonna keep it in this tray here. 2. There we go. So it appears that the whole cluster is coming out with it. That might be a little bit of an issue. No, it shouldn't be an issue. You can put that trim right there. So now that that is out, so it does appear that the vents are going to need to pop out. Removing this vent can be a little tricky. So what we need to do is we need to take a hook like so, and there's these little slots in the side of it. And so we're going to put the hook in the slot and we're just going to pull on it hard, one side at a time, just like that, and it'll come out. And then we've got one Torx screw right here holding the trim piece. And look at that, the MMI actually turned on for some reason. The ignition switch is not on, shouldn't be coming on. Okay. So can we remove this without pulling this off? And the answer might not be a definite yes. You might have to actually pull the trim out. Okay, so it does appear that this will just pop off. It's got little clips right there. And we can go ahead and put that off to the side. And then that'll come out right there. At least it should. Oh, yep, there we go. And we should have enough clearance just to set it up at the top. Enough wiring here. And so, now that we are in here, I can see some of these screws. So this appears to be one of them right here. And we've got one right here. And one right there. Now, I'm not sure exactly how we're gonna get to this one here. We might not need to, I hope. Let's see. That's pretty tight in here. We've got this guy here. There's a chance I'll have to pull that out, this bracket right here. I'm gonna go ahead and get the screws that I can. It's gonna be nice and easy. I don't want to lose any of the screws. All right, just gonna double check and make sure they're all the same size as the other ones so I'm not mixing them up. And they are. Audi has made it easy. Okay, looks like one clip is trying to come off over here. Let's set that back in place. So it looks like we're close. There just seems to be one more somewhere. This may be it right here. believe so. All right, it came out. But yes, the next issue that I'm dealing with is that this bracket, the metal bracket, is in the way. So that will have to come out. It appears that it is held in two 10mm socket head bolts, and it's tight in there. So one of them I can use a long extension. And this guy, and for the other one I can use a ratchet. There you go. And that one has a ground attached to it, so I'm going to need to remember to reattach this ground. I'll grab this socket. I will get up here. I think it would have probably been smarter. It would have definitely been smarter to do. You know what? I might need a shorter ratchet because this is too long. This one's a bit shorter. This one's even shorter if I need to. I can go ahead and grab my 8mm. All right, just gonna go and reach into there. I'm kind of doing this blind. All right, yeah, it came out. I mean, I can just take it out by hand, actually. Almost take it out by hand. There we go. It'll come out. Should give me enough space. There we go. All right, so we've got a few connectors back here, and they've got tabs. It's got a double tab, so on each side you pinch it, pull that out. This one's got a single tab. Pull that out, and then we've got a optical cable right here, or it's a coax. No, it's an optical. And we've got one more with one tab on there. And it's that simple. Okay, so what's next is we do need to swap the ignition from the bracket. And that's straightforward. Just got two of these torque screws. Make sure it's in the correct orientation. Right there. Oops. Trying to eat my glove here. Okay. So let's go ahead and get these connectors back in. So which way were they? They were like so. No, like so. When it comes back on, it's gonna go in like this. What we've got. Oh no, which one do we got over here? I believe that's the one, yeah. There we go. Pop that one back in. Let's not get all these all twisted up. Coax. This one's down here. Just like that. That's it. Okay. Now we put this back in, and it's gonna go. Should go right in. Let's see from here. There we go. All right. Let's go ahead and put some screws in, and then we can put the bracket back on. All right. So far, so good. Come out for the bracket. And this bracket is going to go back in like so. Let's not forget about the ground. It wants to get a little caught under there. Okay. Definitely helps to have skinnier hands for this job because it is kind of tight. Okay, we can crank that all the way down by hand. All right. Then we got this one. All right. And you don't want to tighten them one at a time. You want to kind of snug, or don't snug it down, but start one, start the other, and then tighten them. That way your alignment of the bolts will be easy. Okay. Alright, it's snug. Perfect. You can go ahead and double check everything here is good. You can get this guy back in now. You want to be nice and easy with it. Don't try to force it. Right. It's got 3 screws. So we'll get the first one, the impact. And the following 2, we will use the ratchet. Oh, forget. And don't crank those down tight. They do not need to be tight. And of course, this one's being a little bit of a stinker. It's kind of loose in there, but it's okay. Just push it back in. All right. Excellent. So next up, we've got our trim panel from here. This one, go ahead and align these little pins. Pop them in. So just make sure, you know, I believe they're actually, they sit underneath, so let's go ahead and try that again. So it's a little tricky here, but the fabric goes underneath the plastic and it slots into this little groove right there. It's got one on each side. All right. And so that one just flips down. Make sure it aligns. And the fabric seems to want to try to get in the way. Make sure the fabric is all around it, laid out properly. Push that in. All right, that's it. And our air vents, very easy. Just align them, give it a good push. That's that. All right, and so our bottom panels, this one has no bolts holding it. It's all friction, no connectors either, so we don't have to worry about any of that sort. Give it a good push, give it a tap. This one, we've got the OBD port. Can't forget to put that one back in, and also the light. That's good. That's good. All right, so we've got a little clip that came out. That's okay. Go right back right there. And then we do need to make sure that the alignment is proper right there. Just slides in right there. We push that up. We've got the last two screws here. All right. So this job is done. Let's do a quick test here. Look at that. Started working right away. The start button's working. Started right up. Oh, we need to push the stop. Let's try the keyless entry. Boom. It works. All right, this job was a success. It went smoothly. No issues. Thanks for watching.